Hi, I'm Ubish from the Freedom Geek team, and today I'm here with Simon and Kristy. How are you guys?
Really good, thank you.
I'm great, thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you. And well, we're going to be talking about VA stuff. So why don't first you start a small introduction of who you are and what's your business about?
So we are a company that works within the UK and we help to house people. And we work as an interface between what we call the private rented sector and the social housing sector. So that's our business and that's what we do. We need a lot of help in the back end, and that's where the virtual assistants came in.
Great. And uh, how do you know about virtual assistant? Where do you hear about them?
I actually heard about the Freedom Geek when I was on a training course, actually. So I was doing a training course in South Wales with Source My Property Academy, and Imogen actually did a presentation on that course. So after the presentation, I think we got our virtual assistants probably a year after that, but we always remembered a presentation, how the business worked. We loved the way the structure of a company was, and that's how we found out about you guys.
Great. And how was the process of hiring a VA?
So simple. It was really, really good, wasn't it, Kristy? It's brilliant.
Yeah, I loved every element. So from initially telling Imogen our requirements through to her actually sifting out people prior to interview, to us then having documentation to review before interview, as well as example questions, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. That helped us to be able to go into the interview prepared, to then have the opportunity to interview different people and handpick the VAs that were right for us that she'd selected. So she really streamlined that process. She even booked in all our meetings, and I can't recommend that enough, really.
So, what were your concerns before hiring a VA, especially because he's almost on the other side of the world?
For me, language obviously was always the first one. How do we train these staff? Are they going to be reliable? You know, the usual questions with any staff members, really. Obviously, there's a language issue with them being on the other side of the world. But mainly, it's just like any staff, really. You know, can we trust them? Are they going to be responsible? Are they going to do what we ask them to do? What training do they need? The same thing, really, with any staff members. Kristy, what was your concerns?
My concerns were similar to Simon's. The only extra one I would have said is the time difference. So it was always about how we were going to work around that time difference, especially with the type of company that we run.
And did you have any surprise about the time difference? Maybe that they are working while you're sleeping or something like that?
Absolutely. Our VAs are the best. So we always accommodate for meetings. We have regular team meetings with them. So we accommodate that around their time. But they do actually work while we sleep, yes. And they do amazing things. And they also go the extra mile and log on in the day, potentially when they, at night when they should be asleep, to be able to deal with the customer base that we have. So we're really, really blessed to have the VAs that we do.
And we also have to remember sometimes when we're really busy and we book an appointment with them just to check the time, because we've occasionally booked a call at 2 o'clock in the morning and forgotten about it. So we have to remind ourselves as well not to do that.
So how long you have been working with your VAs?
Yeah, it'll be coming up to a year in May.
Do you have any idea of how much time you are saving by having a VA?
Well, we actually have 2 VAs, so we save a lot of time. I can't even begin to describe how much time we save. It is enormous.
Yeah, so we actually hired 2 VAs from the Freedom Geek. And like I say, that process was really smooth. So we have Justine, who runs the social media side, and then we have May, who deals with all the property processes and the processes with our social housing providers. And like I say, yeah, they've totally kind of streamlined all our processes to make it way more efficient and saved us a lot of time.
Do you have any tips for, creating a good relationship with your VA?
So we always have catch-ups with them to make sure they're not overwhelmed, because if they were overwhelmed, then we would most definitely hire another VA. We always, if they go the extra mile, then they will get bonuses, and they really appreciate that. We give them certain times off in the year because and pay them for that, because we feel like they deserve it, the amount of hours and hard work they put in. And it's more about just touching base with them regularly. We actually created teams. So we've got a Teams chat where we can continually talk to each other, whether that be day or night, or we can pick it up in the morning. And it's just really, really helped being able to keep in touch if they've got an issue.
Yeah, just like Kristy said, it's just communication, really. We make sure that they're understanding the tasks we want them to do. We also make sure they understand when they're doing really good work. If they need time off, they're very incredibly hard workers to their detriment sometimes, you know. If they're unwell or anything else, we have to just say, look, just calm down, take a day off, it's fine. You know, they're incredibly hard workers. So yeah, we just have to make sure they're okay and they're not getting overworked as well. So if anything more than that, that's more the point, isn't it, Kristy?
Yeah.
Would you recommend that to somebody that is thinking of hiring a VA?
I think I've recommended the Freedom Geek about 10 times already. So that's a definite yes.
Same for me. I recommend them all the time.
So if somebody that is watching this is just starting with their VAs, do you have any tips to kickstart their process at the beginning?
For me, be aware of the fact that you have to spend some time training them. They're very skilled, but they don't actually know your business. That was the thing that we learned. So it took us a good couple of months, I think, to get them really up to speed on what our business was about. Our business is quite unique, though. It's a very different style. It's not very common. So it did take them a while to learn what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. So we had to be patient with them for the first couple of months and spend quite a bit of time teaching them what we do and why we do it. But after that, it was about, 4 or 5 weeks, I think. After the 4 or 5 weeks, everything's been running really smoothly ever since then.
Great. Well, I think those are all the questions. In case that anybody wants to reach out to you guys, know more a little bit about your business, in which social media they can find you?
All of them.
So we're on all platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. We've got an amazing social media manager who handles all that. And we're down as Auxilium Property Management and KISS Sourcing, KIS Sourcing. So if anybody does want to reach out just to hear about our experience and how well it's gone, they're more than welcome to get in touch.
Perfect. So thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to share this. And I really, really appreciate that. And I'm sure that people watching this also. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for supplying us a couple of amazing VAs. They've changed our business.
Yeah, they definitely have changed our lives and business, definitely. So thank you.
Thank you.